record, judge my service, investigate every claim. This is the confidence of innocence, the boldness of integrity, the fearlessness of someone whose conscience is clear. One of the members of parliament spoke about being removed as deputy organizing secretary via WhatsApp message before the National Executive Committee even met to discuss it. Think about the contempt this shows for democratic process, for party structures, for basic respect. You remove an elected official through a text message. You don't convene proper meetings. You don't follow constitutional procedures. You don't provide fair hearing. This is the mentality of authoritarianism, the arrogance of those who believe power gives them the right to trample on rules and regulations. And yet these are the same people who took sacred oaths to uphold and protect the party constitution. The same constitution they now violate without shame, without hesitation, without remorse. My Kenyan brothers and sisters, I want to tell you why Edwin Sifuna is good for Kenya, why his resistance matters, why you must stand with him in this struggle. First, because he represents the voice of conscience in Kenyan politics, in a time when many are silent, when many are compromising, when many are making calculations about their personal futures. Sifuna stands up and says no. No to collaboration with what he believes is a disastrous government. No to turning ODM into a tool of the ruling party. No to abandoning the principles that Raila Odinga died defending. This voice of conscience, this willingness to stand alone if necessary, this is what keeps democracy alive. When everyone goes along to get along, when everyone bends to power, when everyone prioritizes personal survival over national interest, democracy dies not with a bang but with a whimper. Second, because Sifuna understands that political parties must remain independent institutions, not extensions of state power. Democracy requires robust opposition, genuine alternatives, real choices for the people. If ODM becomes just another wing of the ruling establishment, Kenya loses something precious and irreplaceable. The two-party system, the healthy competition of ideas, the accountability that comes from knowing you might lose power to a genuine alternative, all of this depends on opposition parties remaining true to their identity and purpose. Sifuna is fighting to preserve this institutional independence, and in doing so he is fighting for the health of Kenyan democracy itself. Third, because he speaks for the forgotten, the marginalized, the suffering masses of Kenya. When he talks about fighting against high cost of living, about demanding jobs for youth, about standing with the downtrodden, these are not empty slogans. This is the core of what progressive politics should be about. Not endless debates about positions and procedures, but concrete commitment to improving the lives of ordinary people. The fact that he is willing to lose his position rather than abandon these commitments tells you where his heart truly lies. Fourth, because Sifuna represents a new generation of African leadership that refuses to repeat the mistakes of the past. He learned at the feet of Raila Odinga. Yes, but he is not simply imitating or worshipping. He is thinking critically, acting independently, applying principles to new circumstances. When Raila made certain political calculations, Sifuna respected his right to do so while maintaining his own position. This is maturity. This is growth. This is how movements evolve and renew themselves. Not through blind obedience, but through principled dialogue and mutual respect. My brothers and sisters, the war that has been declared in ODM is not just about one party or one man. It is about the future direction of Kenya. Will you be a country where opposition is tolerated only if it is toothless? Will you be a nation where political parties are merely different flavors of the same elite consensus? Will you accept a democracy in form but dictatorship in substance? Or will you demand genuine alternatives, real choices, authentic representation of your interests and aspirations? These are the questions that Sifuna's struggle forces you to confront. I stand with Edwin Sifuna because I recognize in him the same spirit that drove us in Burkina Faso to say enough to neo-colonial exploitation. And I stand with him because his fight is not just for ODM, but for the principle that African political parties must serve African people, not foreign interests or local comprador classes. I stand with him because he has shown courage when courage was costly, integrity when compromise was profitable, and principle when opportunism was easier. These are the qualities we need in African leadership, and these are the qualities we must defend and celebrate wherever we find them. To the people of Kenya I say this: judge Edwin Sifuna, not by the accusations of his enemies, but by the testimony of his record. 9 years of service, building party structures, defending the constitution, standing with Raila Odinga through victories and defeats. Judge him by his willingness to face you directly, to go to the grassroots, to submit to the court of public opinion. Judge him by the character of those who stand with him, These members of parliament and governors and senators who risk their own positions to defend principle, and judge him most of all by the ferocity of the attacks against him, for they would not fight so hard to remove him if he were not a genuine threat to their plans. The struggle for ODM is the struggle for Kenya. The fight to preserve the party's independence. The battle to honor Raila Odinga's legacy is the battle to ensure that his sacrifice. Edwin Sifuna is good not because he is perfect, but because he is on the right side of this fight. He is good not because he never makes mistakes, but because when faced with the choice between comfort and conscience, he chose conscience. He is good not because everyone agrees with him, but because he has the courage to stand for what he believes, even when standing is costly. My final word to you, people of Kenya, stay vigilant, stay engaged, stay committed to the struggle for a fair, just and democratic nation. Support those who support you. Stand with those who stand for principle. And remember always that your liberation, your prosperity, your future depends not on the mercy of those in power, but on your own collective action, your own political consciousness,